in this case, Ms. Flanagan has a child support order of $388 a month, past due amount of $21,910. Last time we came to court, hold on one second for me, please. We came to court. I did know that dad is already in another court, so I don't parallel two courts. The Superior Court is a higher court than this court is, and so I generally allow the Superior Court to handle any matters regarding issuing warrants or contempts. And in this case, it appears that there was a court hearing in Clayton County on July 27th, where dad was given an order to pay a certain amount. Ms. Carson, can you update us on that order, please?
All I see in here, Your Honor, is that he has another court date on 8/23, which then there's nothing about that.
Can you just share what you shared earlier, that there was an accountability court?
Yeah, it says in the record, it says, due to your recent dismissal from our parent accountability program, they were offering him an opportunity to settle his upcoming court hearing by paying $3,300 against the contempt action.
Okay. Mr. Giles, if you could, both of you, unmute.
Hello?
For a moment. Yes, okay, I can hear you.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. They told me that the court was rescheduled to October, and they was going to, because they haven't wasn't able to mail me out the proper information for me to get to the hearing in time.
Okay, so you have not been notified that they're going to give you an opportunity to pay a purge amount, so you're not held in contempt? You haven't had that hearing yet?
No, they told me to it was going to be in October.
Okay, so let's see what you're doing here. Looking at your payments with us, it looks like you paid $40 in May, $50 in August, about $70. You may be paying a little bit more in August. So let's see, you have two additional children. Accountability here. Hold on one second. Let's see, Robert. Okay, so in this case, the accountability court is going to be the one where the Superior Court judge decides to hold you in contempt, and I'm going to have to wait until that court decides what to do. But yes, tell me what would you like to share. Tell me what's happening, because it looks like you're really struggling with your payments.
Oh yeah. See, the problem is that by law, I'm ordered to report to child support. So the fact that child support and child abandonment warrant court don't talk, y'all want to know what's going on with me. I could lost my home in this whole process. So all of this is documentation that I brought in the child support. That's why I got into that program, because through the whole process of the program, like the whole first 7 months, I was homeless. But even during that time, I was still trying to sit in whatever I had. I'm still just not trying to get up on my feet, but I'm still sending in something. Yeah, it might not be everything that she wants, but it's not criminal. It's not a criminal.
Hold on, Mr. Giles, hold on. So the system is, yes, we do try to have information provided to us, and we share that you're going to a civil court, which if you're saying you were homeless, you had no way to really support your children, then that is for a Superior Court judge to decide, because they have to determine if you can and have the ability to pay and refuse to. So since you have a hearing in October, you need to keep paying what you're paying, something every month. And because there's a higher court already handling your case, I'm going to turn this case over to Superior Court, because it doesn't make any sense to have two courts and I'm the lower court. So Ms. Flanagan, you need to stay in touch with Clayton County, see what's going on, go to their court system. If you think he has more money and he's hiding it or anything like that, you have to deal with that in that Superior Court, because our court is a magistrate court and the Superior Court is already handling your case with the contempt. So you're going to have to go ahead and make sure you know when that hearing date is, participate in the hearing, and that judge will decide how to move forward with your case.
Okay, because they don't send me anything. I don't know anything about Superior Court. I haven't gotten anything from them.
Okay, so can you tell her, Ms. Carson, how she can obtain information on the hearings?
Should be able to have access to her case online.
It doesn't show anything on there. It doesn't have any pending appointments. Even when I look at actions on my case, it shows nothing in the past 60 days.
I do see information on there. The last thing, though, that was written that you might be able to see.
And when I pull up his case and I go to scheduled appointments, it shows nothing.
Yeah, I don't see any court hearing. They haven't entered.
When I pull up past, it shows nothing as well. And even when I go to case activity.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see.
Case activity is coming up for today. But the only thing I have is for today, I updated my information.
Okay, on 10/4, it looks like there's a court hearing.
So do I contact child support to find out about that hearing?
Right.
So she just contacts the caseworker?
Yeah, what this says is if payment is not paid by 8/24, legal action will continue. PAC removal. Court continuance date to 10/4. He was scheduled for a settlement date yesterday.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, the reason why I'm supposed to be removed is because I've been in the program too long. So that's why they was trying to get me to come to the court, and yeah, they were going to remove me, but they were going to try to work something out with me to see what we can do, and if it was something else that I could get involved in, because it's just they letting me out because I've been in the program too long. But it went like they understand, it went so fast because half the time of the program I actually like lost my home in the same process when I was signing up for the program. So I had to bring in the documents showing that my leasing agency just gave me a 60-day out the blue in March. The same time in March when I was signing up for the program, they gave me a 60-day notice that I had to move. So
Mr. Giles, are you working right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you under child support for all three of your children?
Ma'am, I have a total of 8 kids. I have six on child support, and I have 3 that's not on child support.
Okay, hold on. Miss Flanagan, where does your child fit into these 8 children?
I have 3 of them.
You have 3 for him?
Yes.
And so, but the total now is 10. I have a total of 10, but child support gave me 2 kids by default. So that what gave me the total. That gave me 10.
Yeah, this is going to have to be handled in Superior Court. I mean, I don't know how to manage a father that has 10 kids. You have to be able, I mean, sir, it's really not fair. I'm not judging you, but you have 10 children, then you need to work 10 jobs or 5 jobs to support all those children, but moms are providing for them. And I can't, I don't know how I can do a criminal.
I'm really like the only, and the thing that really hurt my heart is like Miss Flanagan, out of all of my kids' mom, Miss Flanagan is doing better than all of us. And she the only one that constantly takes me to this is like
okay. No. Stop. Remember, I said I don't want to get into any issues.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying that this is a pattern. This is for the 60th time almost that I done been to abandonment court.
Okay. Well, you need to keep trying to pay. I don't know that there's anything I could do with a father that has 10 kids and require him to support his kids, ma'am. I don't, as a judge, I don't know how anybody can enforce that. So I'm going to let the Superior Court handle your case. I think they have better discretion to determine if he could even be accountable for 10 kids. But either I was asking Ms. Flanagan, where are your 3 in his 10?
What do you mean by that?
Did he have like some before your children, then your children?
He had 2 before my children.
Okay, and then you guys were together and you had 3.
No, we didn't even know those was my kids until her son was about 8 years old.
Okay, hold on. I'm muting both of you. I'm not getting into this. Okay, so you guys, no, stop. I'm not getting into this. Miss Flanagan, you're muted. So hold on. You're muted. So stop talking, please. All right. So you guys this is not a criminal matter. I can't arrest a father with 10 kids. I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to have to go ahead and hold him in contempt and let the court, what they're going to do, Mr. Giles, if they find that you have the ability to pay, and then they're going to put you in jail until you come up with $3,000. So that's what's going to happen. So this case is dismissed, Ms. Flanagan. I don't think it's prime for a criminal basis, but it is for you to be handled. So look for the court date. And is it Clayton County, Miss Carson?
Yes, Your Honor. All
right. So Clayton County, see if you can find some information of when that court date is. Even if you call the Clayton County Child Support Office, and they'll get you the details and make sure you attend that court proceeding, Ms. Flanagan, okay? And Mr. Giles, one of the biggest issues that mothers have is it's not really about as much. That's why I wanted to show this video this morning, but I can't upload it. It's not as much about the support as it is being in your children's lives and being active. Now, if you're not active, then yep, she's upset and she's going to keep having the right to file after you. But I don't want to hear it. I'm just telling you, you can step up and be a father if that's what's happening, because that's what most moms are upset about. She had 3 kids with you. Probably helped you get yourself together. Maybe not. I don't know, but that's what this is about, I'm sure. So you guys have a good day. You're muted. I'm not listening to you guys. Just co-parent, be there for your kids. If she doesn't let you, then follow legitimate. You guys have a good day. This case is dismissed. You're excused. Everything will be handled by Clayton County Superior Court. You guys have a good day. Ms. Carson, have you all filed a contempt in this case? Because this is getting to the point where it needs to be a contempt more than a criminal warrant.
There's notice in here that Ms. Shorter has contacted the office asking for enforcement actions. And that to date, it's just been administrative enforcement actions.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Guzman, since we were here in June, I'd asked you to start paying the $166 a week. You said you had a second job and then you were going to start paying. So then you did make a payment in August and you had to pay another on the 22nd, but you missed all of July. I mean, this is the whole thing. This case needs to be done with, and then you didn't pay any payments in July. Unmute. What's going on? You know how this has been going on forever, and I've been trying to give you the opportunity to get on track. Unmute yourself, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even notice I was on mute. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. July was a rough month. My company was actually placed on suspension from the facility that I'm working. I'm actually at the facility right now, picking up one of my patients going to dialysis. But my company got placed on suspension from the facility, a 30-day suspension, because my AC went out I had a patient in the van. Well, I didn't even know my AC when I started blowing hot air. I had a patient in my van, dropped them off. They went back and told the director that my AC wasn't working. He had a conference with me. I sat down in the office and he told me, it was like, hey, man, we got to get your AC working, unless you won't be able to pick up patients or whatnot. He was like, go get it checked out, go get a diagnostic, let me know what they say or whatnot. Went to get the diagnostic. They told me my compressor was out and I had to replace the radiator, which was about a $2,500 job. So when I came back in the office to tell the director about what it was, he asked me what was the timetable that you think you'd be able to get it fixed. And I had to be honest with him. And I told him I didn't know. I didn't know how long it was going to be. And they placed me on a 30-day probation period saying, well, we got to get another 30-day carrier in here until you're able to get the van fixed or whatnot, which I did. I had to borrow the money to get the van fixed or whatnot, but it put me in a hole. Like,
but when those things happen and you know that you're under a child support order, it's easy to just call the court and let send in documentation proving that your AC went out, you're a sole, but you said you had a second. But wait a minute, wait. Yes. You said that you had a second job so that you didn't have to continue with these struggles.
Yes, which is Amazon, which is a part-time job, which I was still working that job as well during that time, but it's a part-time job. I'm only get 20 hours a week from there. You know what I mean? 20 hours a week and $15 an hour that's not much at all. That's not even enough to make a good child support, a decent child support payment. And another thing about it, Judge Jason, is I've been trying to make child support payments and the app has been, something been going on with the app. Like a couple of weeks ago, I had to reset my password and my login every single day. I've been having to do that every single day. And even when I go to make payments, I made a recording of this on my phone, so you wouldn't think that I was making something up. But I had to record. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I had to make a recording of me trying to make a payment, and the payment wouldn't go through because there's a glitch with the phone number when you enter the phone number. Like there's 3 steps to the payment. When I get to the last page, I enter all my information, the billing address, my name, my email address.
Hold on, Mr. Guzman. So tell me, what career field were you in when you first got a child support order of $636 a month?
I was in logistics. I was a dispatcher for Cowan Logistics at the time. I had left Coyote. Me and Jocelyn were working together at Coyote. Me and Jocelyn had an incident. Me and her had an incident. I got fired from Coyote. I got another job at Cowan Systems. When I got the job at Cowan Systems, that's when the child support order was in place. I was working. They was taking money out of my check. So I didn't personally have to worry about taking money out and giving. They were just taking it out automatically.
Okay. So what happened after you were making pretty good money? It was coming out. And what happened after that second job?
Well, COVID happened. COVID happened 2020. COVID hit and the office closed down and I was out of work and I it was nothing that I could do. And that's how it got backed up to where it did to this point.
Okay. So you said you were working with a logistics company and they just shut down the whole business?
Yes, they shut down the whole office. I was working on Camp Creek, 3800 Camp Creek Parkway, right across from Camp Creek Marketplace, Cowan Logistics. They shut down. So still not open. The office is still
have you tried to go back to those businesses now, or have they not reopened?
It's not open. It's still not open. I talked to my old boss a couple of weeks ago, and he's the only person. They shut down the Atlanta office, but since he was the manager of the office, they let him work remotely from home, and they let him take over the accounts that everybody had inside the office. So there's not even, if I go back, I'll be starting from ground zero with nothing.
Well, one of the things the reason I'm asking is I'm not sure that right now it looks like you're trying to start your own business, so you have an income, you're working a second job. I don't think you're intentionally refusing to pay. I think you're just trying to overcome those circumstances. You have a very high child support order. Let me look. I don't know. How many children do you guys have? 2?
We have 2 together, yes.
Okay. So you were working on it as a team and then you guys got into something and everything went downhill. I just don't sense that you're just one of the fathers that I've dealt with over 18 years that just doesn't care and doesn't want to pay. I sense that you're really trying. Hold on. I sense that you're really trying. I don't think you're trying to pull the wool over my eyes. I think that you really are trying to do the best, but you're not going to be able to be an entrepreneur. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time. And it looks like you're a one-man business trying to transport people back and forth, take care of yourself and your kids. You may need to go petition child support for a reduction because it doesn't look like you can afford to pay $636 anymore. If you're working a logistics job and you're not doing it and you're trying to use one van to transport people back and forth or an ambulance, it's commendable. It may pick up one day, but it's not. So I don't know that I can continue this case. I think it needs to be handled in a contempt proceeding in Superior Court. I'm not going to issue a criminal warrant against your arrest. I'm going to ask you to continue to pay what you're paying as much as you can. You pay $166. You keep trying to do $166 a week. That's all I can ask for. At least you're trying. You're not consistent. You were consistent and then you got inconsistent because life happens. But these aren't issues for me to issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm not letting you off the hook. I hope that because you guys were in a relationship that you're at least co-parenting your children. And Ms. Shorter, I think this case is better suited for you guys to file a contempt in Superior Court handle it in Superior Court so they can determine if he truly does. And I think you should consider Mr. Guzman filing a reduction in your child support, because I just don't think you have the financial ability to pay the child support. You're trying. Maybe you can. You guys can work it out together. She can say, you know what, I'll take a reduced amount so you can get on your feet and you can legitimate your kids and have a relationship with your children. But, you know, whatever happened years ago can still be cured by the two of you for the betterment of your relationship and your children. But, you know, that's not up to me. And I don't know what happened, and I don't need to know what happened. But I know this isn't, I don't find that it's a criminal basis to issue a warrant. So Ms. Shorter, she said that you've asked them to enforce the case. It was just an administrative case. And so I'm not issuing a criminal warrant on this case. I'm going to, Mr. Guzman, you have to continue to pay weekly every week of what you're paying. I don't find this is a criminal basis. I've had this case open for over 6 months. Let me double check on that. And I'm going to turn this over to the higher courts, with the just superior courts. Let me see when I first had this case open. Yeah, it's been open almost a year. It's been open since October of last year. So I don't find there's
Can I speak?
You can, just a minute. Yeah, please don't unmute yourself. I'll hear it for me in just a minute. But I do think that this is above a criminal warrant. I think it needs to be handled with what your new income is, if you have the ability to pay, what kind of job you have, and let the higher court judge decide whether they should hold you in contempt. Mr. Guzman, what the judge will do if they find you in contempt, they will say you have to pay a certain amount of money. If you fail to pay that money, then they're going to take you into custody in a certain time. Like they'll say you have to pay $5,000 in 6 months, and if you fail to pay it, then what they'll do is take you into custody until your family or somebody comes up with the money. So that's what her options are going to be. I'm just letting you know up front. So keep paying what you're paying, because it's not going to look good when you come to court. But you should also, you can't afford to hire an attorney, but you can go to child support yourself and see if you can get a reduction so you can get out of that hole. Because right now you're just digging yourself out of a hole, and it's just a dip. And you're at work. Try not to lose your last client. So if you go ahead, Miss Shorter, and then I'm going to let you go, Mr. Guzman. It looks like you have to take care of your customer. Go ahead, Miss Shorter.
Thank you.
I'm going to let you file a contempt in this action, but go ahead, please.
Yes, I just wanted to say, Judge, I understand life happens, but my hot water was just recently off, which affects our sons. I'm always at work, in court, regardless of the fact, doing the best that I can. I understand stuff happens, but it happens with me as well, and I'm still held accountable every single day.
I know.
No slack, no help. I have reached out to Mr. Guzman via email, via phone call. I don't get no response. I don't get nothing back. I have the emails and I can send them because I've been reaching out. I get no acknowledgement. He missed the youngest boy's birthday last month. My other one is on Tuesday. I've been reaching out. I've been trying. So again, I've done everything that I need to do. I reached out to child support because again, a whole month goes by. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
A whole month goes by, and I find it very alarming and funny that every time it's time for a virtual court, that's when I receive a payment.
Yeah.
So I understand life happens, but it happens with me every day as well, and I'm doing my very best.
Well, you know, I wish whatever happened between the two of you, because that's
not in your court. It has to go somewhere else.
No, it's not important, but I wish that it could, because I think that if after being a judge for 18 years, I'm telling that if there's a point where you guys could agree that it was a horrible situation, but focus, because anyway, I'm not going to address that issue. You're saying no, so that's not there. So what I'll do until the contempt is filed, I'll keep our case.
I'll file that today.
Well, you can't file it. It has to go through child support.
Well, that's fine. I'll file. I'll find out what I need to do.
Okay, I'll go ahead and keep it open for my purposes, so we at least keep receiving those weekly payments, okay? And then just to kind of, because I can't issue a warrant if there's no payments for 4 weeks straight. Okay, it's got to be a.
And there wasn't though.
Well, okay. Well, I'm
just saying it wasn't. That's all.
Okay. Well, I didn't find a basis to issue a criminal warrant. So, Mr. Guzman, I'm going to reset the case. I'm going to keep it open until I know that she's filed a contempt. So we'll reset it, and I'm going to order you to continue to pay the $166 a month. I don't know. She's indicating like, well, you have anyway. You may have the ability to pay, and you're not. I'm not going to address this if you have somebody in your car with you, but I'll reset the case. I'll go ahead and let you be heard. You know, I could just hear the tension, unfortunately, in the relationship, and it doesn't help that you're not paying consistently. And she says she's struggling financially while she's working. So it's just it's a contempt action where the judge could hold him in contempt and take him into custody. And that's what needs to happen in this case. Go ahead, Mr. Guzman.
First of all, Judge Jason, I'm glad that you gave me the opportunity to speak. I appreciate that. But there has been no communication. There's been no phone calls, no emails. She has 2 numbers for me. She has my correct email. I can show you all in my inbox. There has been no communication. I would love to have communication. I would love for us to be able to work it out. My son's birthday is coming up August 29th. I want to do something for him so bad, but I know it's not going to happen. She's not going to reach out to me. She didn't reach out to me on Father's Day like she said she did.
Okay, okay. Yeah, Ms. Shorter, you're already saying he can't be with his son, and all that doesn't make me as a judge this is not good for your children. So both of you are accountable for the decisions for your children. It doesn't matter how mad you are at each other. Your children need both of you in their lives. And that's what the law states. And that's what every child would want for their mom and dad to be able to allow them to be together. But whatever, October 27th, we'll reset the case to see the status of the case. October 27th, please continue to make your payments. You guys are both excused from court. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, it's a sad day when parents can't look at the best interest of their children, but everybody has their own situations that I can't control. Even though it's not part of the, I know we're live, but it's like, it makes you wonder, what did he do? Because it looks like they were a good team together and everything. This is a child support order allegedly filed against Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, you're under a child support order to pay $1,159 per month in basic child support. No support in that amount has been paid for the past. You have paid some minimal amounts in 148, 123, 198 over the past 3 months, but you're not paying what you were supposed to pay. So evidently at one point you made a lot of money, and it appears you're not making as much money right now. So let me hear what's going on with you. I'll ask you to unmute because I did mute you first. And if you could raise your right hand. Mr. Harris, do you swear all the testimony you're about to give the court is the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what's going on? You were paying $11.59. You were ordered to pay $11.59. You have $23,000 past due. Mom is receiving payments. It looks like you're paying about $200 or $150 a month. Of course, that's nowhere within the compliance for the child support order. So when the order was issued, you must have had an excellent job. So what's going on here?
So about 2 years ago, at the height of the pandemic, I lost my job, and I submitted a separation notice to the child support in Cobb County in an effort to have the amount remodified to reflect, I wasn't no longer making that kind of money.
Yeah, that's good money you were making.
Yeah, I was. So and they used to guard my check every week, every 2 weeks or whatnot. So they were getting the money then. But once I lost the job, there was no way I could make up for that. Even now, I would never be able to find a job like that because she filed something and they took my license and they suspended my license. So I can't get a driving job right now because of the suspension that was on my license. So,
wow, yeah, I understand. So right now, where are you living? Why are you in a bathroom?
I was trying to have this here and I'm here to take a shower. I'm homeless.
You're homeless? Oh, goodness. Wow. You're not living with family or anything?
No, out of my car.
So you were a truck driver, you lost that job and things have gone downhill since then?
Yeah, for the last like a year and a half. I've tried getting similar jobs, but once they found out about the suspension.
Yeah, no, you can't get a job. All right, so we need to get your driver's license reinstated, and this is going to be a long journey. The way we're going to do that, ma'am, do you know that he's homeless? Hold on, Mr. Harris.
That's not true. He's making more money than he made on that job. And I have proof that he's purchased several cars within the last couple of years. He's bought a tow truck. He's bought RVs. He's been on several vacations. None of that is true. He works for himself. He is self-employed. And that is not true, what he's saying. He is not homeless. He is self-employed. He has his own company, Expedio Towing. He has contracts with insurance agencies, and he repos cars for them. So what he's saying is false.
Wow.
That's not true.
When is the last time that you had updated information to confirm? That's like two completely different stories.
And I did not file to suspend his license. His license was suspended for failure to pay. And he quit that job because they were taking money out of his check. They didn't let him go. And so I assure you, his company, the Expedio Towing, he has contracts with Avis rental car company.
So how do you know? Oh, Ms. Brown, let me swear you in. Do you swear
okay.
You swear all the testimony you're about to give me is the truth?
Yes.
Okay, so how do you know all that information?
Because I've had to call him and have him, and he's called me to pick him up sometimes and he's dropped off cars. Or had me take him somewhere. And it's been recently, like within this year, like maybe a few months ago.
Okay, how many children? You guys have one child?
Correct.
1,100 for, okay, wow. Well, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what he's making, but you guys going to have to get in a higher court because he's saying he makes nothing and you're saying, no, he's lying. There's no way for me to tell. But what I can do, sir, is we'll get you, if you're, okay, hold on one second. So listen, I don't have a crystal ball, but Mr. Harris, if you're sitting there being dishonest with me and she's saying you have contracts and you're like, no, I don't. I do understand you could be impacted if your license is suspended. It's suspended because you haven't paid.
It is not suspended, not from us.
Oh, it's not suspended through.
No, on 5/30 of this year, they lifted the suspension.
Okay, so do you have a technical suspension? Because child support has not suspended your license.
Yeah, so that suspension shows up on any job I apply for. And I think it stays on that 7 years.
No, unless it was suspended through.
No, I'm saying that the being part of my record.
Well, I mean, just because it's on your record, it doesn't. Yeah, look, I've been doing this a long time. The child support suspension doesn't stay consistently. Hold on one second. Let me check something. Hold on. Give me one moment, please. So your license is not suspended for child support. So unless it's administratively suspended from another agency, I am going to have to hold you accountable and get you to step up. So if you go back and you go to driver services, and the driver services can make a determination whether or not your license is suspended. And if it's not, then that doesn't stop you from getting jobs.
No, that's not what I'm saying. When you apply for the job that I used to have, if your license has one of the first questions to ask you, has your license been suspended? Once they realize your license has been suspended, it don't have to be suspended at the moment.
Okay, well, wait, Mr. Harris, let's talk about the present. Ms. Brown says that you have a towing company and you're being able to be successful with your towing company.
That's a lie. I don't own a tow truck. You can easily check with the state, the DMV, the check. That's easily verifiable.
You sure you don't want me to? You sure you don't want me to check that? If I Google it and I find out that there is a tow company in your name, then that means you're being dishonest with the court.
Yeah, that'll be dishonest. You can check.
Okay, ma'am. Ms. Brown? What's the name of the towing company that you're saying he has?
He works for he is called Expedio Towing. He may not have renewed his business license, but I am more than positive, and that he has contracts with. He has contracts.
That's an easy verify.
He has contracts with rental car agencies, Avis. It's out in East Point and other companies where he go and he repos cars for rental car dealerships. Okay. He works for himself. Hold on one second. Okay.
Okay, so what he's saying, let me just I think what you're saying is truthful, Ms. Brown. I believe that you do have a business, Mr. Harris. However, I think that your license was suspended and it was just reinstated. So it was reinstated in May, so it's time to move forward, get your business, get your contracts. Let's get back on track of paying child support. I do think that you need to go back to child support and negotiate a reduction. It's not their job is to look at the best interest of the child. That's a lot of money if he can't prove that he's making, I don't know, what would be $1,100, like making 6 figures a year almost, because that's a lot of child support. So he must have been making really good money. I don't know. It's up to you, sir, to prove that. But I am going to hold you accountable. Your license is reinstated. It seems like you do have a business. I just looked at it. I agree with what she's saying. Now, perhaps it may be true that you thought your license was suspended. So what I'm going to do is just hold you accountable like I do everybody else. I cannot reduce your child support, okay? Sir, I can't reduce it, but I do believe you have the ability to pay child support. Now, you're saying that you're homeless and that you have nowhere that you're living out of your car. You were saying how do you support yourself? Go ahead and unmute for me.
I do handyman work and I do odd jobs around. So mostly I do car wash at a friend car wash. And sometimes what you're talking about, I do help certain people, like you ever heard of the service called Drive Around? Will come to me, have you drive a car from A to point B. And it ain't even an official job. I don't even pay tax. It ain't even nothing official. And she knows that. That's why I had her to come pick me up here and there.
All right.
So I don't have a problem with paying child support. I just don't, I'm not able to pay the amount that.
Oh, okay, hold on a second. Okay, well then what can you pay on a weekly basis if knowing that your license is reinstated? I'm going to give you some time. I can't reduce your child support order, but I do need you to start paying something consistently to get on track so I don't have to get a warrant. I'm also going to require you to join the fatherhood program. That's going to, I think you can work. So I'm not even going to send you the fatherhood program. Yeah. You have enough side hustle to get yourself.
I say $400 a month. I can afford $400 a month.
We'll start there. I'm not reducing it. That means you have to pay $100 a week for me to avoid issuing a warrant for your arrest.
Okay.
I'm not reducing your child support order. I'm starting to get you on track. Start paying again $100 a week. You understand? Understand that?
So let me ask you, so what I need to do to get this thing reduced?
You have to go to child support.
So I went out on the app, I put in for modification like 12 times.
You have to go in person and speak to a child support agent.
Yeah, I did. I went to Clark County and they said they denied it. They said I need to wait. I need the first time they said I need to wait 3 years. Then I waited 3 years. It's been 3 years now. And they still tell me I need to wait.
She's looking up to see.
It looks like it was just 3 years. So he's probably eligible. Looking to see if there's any reference in here about. Looks like he made a request for fatherhood, completed fatherhood beginning the year. Was reported NCP owns his own towing business, case pending contempt action. Looking to see if there's any indication of a modification action. Here we go. Dante Harris has requested a phone call appointment, reason, review, and modification. And that's it. That was on 8/8. So nothing's happened since then.
All right. So you should be prime. You should be able to go back and apply for a reduction now. So whenever
do I come to the courthouse? Your courthouse?
Hold on, please. Let me speak. You'll have to go back to the child support services in the county, which I guess you said is Cobb County. You can sit down with the child support agent, explain your circumstances to them. They may ask you for an offer of proof, and then they'll say, okay, well, we can negotiate a reduction. They'll contact mom, see if she'll agree. If she doesn't agree, then you guys are going to have to go to a different court. This is a criminal court for me to issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm not issuing a warrant. I'm putting my notes here. Give me 1 second. What I'm going to put docket notes here is, let's see, that claims to be homeless, but has side jobs as, hold on 1 second. Let me say that. All right, so this is the first time that you've appeared before me, sir. So I'm putting in notes that you're going to start paying at least $100 per week just to get built back up over time. I'm going to try to get that increased once you get back on your feet. Now that you have your own company or you can get back on your feet. I also am going to ask you, because they'll be able to confirm the information, to join the fatherhood program. I don't know if you can. I think they're still doing it virtual. But we'll see.
Looks like he completed it.
Oh, he's already completed it. Okay, so he's been in the fatherhood program. All I can do, there's going to be a contempt filed against you, and they're probably, if so, that I'm going to turn the case over to them. But because it's my first time appearing, I don't really know what's going on. I don't have any way of proving he's being untruthful and that he does have money in business. I don't know that. Most people don't go sit in the bathroom, and I mean, there are tricksters. I don't know. Maybe he really is homeless and doesn't have. Unless Ms. Brown can prove that he has a home and she knows where he lives, then if he's claiming he's homeless, then I'm just going to have to say, $100 a week. If he can pay that, at least it's something until we move the case along. So, sir, you'll have to pay the $100 a week per month, $100 per week, not month, something towards a week as much as you can, just so I could avoid issuing a warrant for your arrest, and then we'll reset the case in about 2 months to see what's going on. Yes, Ms. Brown, go ahead, please.
I have some documentation here where he purchased a car September the 29th, 2022. He purchased a brand new vehicle, and that's one of many.
And how are you getting this
because I took a picture of it. I was in the car with him, and I took a picture of this paperwork of a car he purchased. So
in his name?
Oh, it's definitely in his name. I have the paperwork right here. He purchased it on the 29th of September, 2022. His payments are $600. He put $2,700 down, and that's one car that he bought. This is a 2022 vehicle, and it's in his name.
What type of vehicle is it?
This is a Chevrolet Equinox.
What is that, a truck?
Yes,
and is that
a SUV, Chevy Equinox. It's a 2022. It's a new car. And he also purchased a minivan as well.
What?
That's what I'm saying. You're saying you don't have money, but you were able to purchase vehicles and that you're homeless. That's not true. I have the paperwork. If you have an email, I can send it over.
Yeah, you can send it over to my clerk. He'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Hold on one second. Okay. All right, Mr. Harris. She's proven her case today. You can unmute.
So the car she referenced came from a Capital One loan. I can show you that.
Yeah, but if you could pay a $600, but if you could pay a $600, hold on. Why are you buying a new car and paying $600 a month and you're saying you're homeless and can't pay child support?
That's the only car that they gave me the loan. Capital One gave me the loan. I took it to the dealership. That's what I mean. I don't want to pay $600, but that's what, based on my credit, that's what I could get. I mean, I didn't have the cash to pay for a cash car, so I went with that.
All right. Okay.
My intention was to.
All right. Well, one of you.
She know I'm homeless. That's crazy.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm going to start at 100 a week. Let's get that started, and I'll increase it as we go through, and you get back on your feet because you're not suspended. This has to go through a higher court that can get discovery, require all his paperwork. Ms. Brown, this is a criminal court. I either issue a warrant or I don't. So you're going to have to take this to a higher court to hold him in contempt. Since you have so much information, a superior court can do what's called discovery, make him give all this information and determine whether or not he should be held in contempt. But this isn't the proper jurisdiction. So I recommend you contact child support to start a contempt proceeding. But sir, we're going to start you with $100 a week. If you're BSing me, then you got off on me today, but it doesn't mean you're not going to have to start paying more, but you have to start paying $100 a week. If you're using the vehicle to do your tow company, that makes sense. But she's saying you have two vehicles. So I don't know. You guys know how to get along with each other. You guys she knows your business. You know her business. I mean, she knows your business. So that means you guys have a relationship and you guys can't work this out. Then it's going to be up to the court. So I don't understand it. If people get along together, why can't you agree of what why don't you just tell her, look, I'll pay $150 a week. I'll start doing that. Once I get used to that, I'll
try that.
Okay. Well, I don't
full amount.
Okay. Well, Miss Brown, I don't know that he has the full amount, but I can't do that. You have to take that to Superior Court. All right. We'll start with 100 a week starting in September. We'll see the case. I'm going to give you 2 months. We'll see you in October to update. And that will be October 27th will be the review date. You need to start paying. I'm going to direct you to pay 100 a week for right now. And then after I come back, I'm probably going to increase it to 150, depending on the circumstance. In the meantime, you go to child support, try to get a reduction. And Ms. Brown, you can file a contempt and you can produce all this evidence in a court that can accept all that documents in a court of law legally the proper way. So they determine if he should be held in contempt. If a court finds you in contempt, Mr. Harris, and they believe that you have the ability to pay, then they'll take you into custody. They'll give you a certain amount of time to pay about a substantial amount. If you fail to pay it, then they're going to find you contempt and keep you locked up until you come up with all that money. So that's the consequence if it goes to filing a contempt. All right, case is reset to October 27th, sir. I'm expecting a weekly payment of minimally of $100 a week. We'll get started there, and then I'll review the case and reconsider. I'm not reducing your child support order. I'm just getting you back on track to pay a consistent amount. All right. Because the last time we were in court on this case, I believe, and please do not unmute yourself, on July 28th, there was a TPO in place. Dad had temporary custody of the child as per the TPO. And I reset the case to review regarding the TPO, the status of the TPO and the child support. So in this case, I will start because hold on one second. I think Mr. McMullen was the person. Did I put in the right case? Hold on one second. Did I put in the right case? Give me a second. I did. Okay. So this case, we were checking on the status. So I'll start with Mr. McMullen. Since you're the one that claimed there was a TPO, can you go ahead and unmute? Both of you, if you could raise your right hands for me. Do you swear any testimony you're about to present to the court will be the truth? If so, just nod and say, I do, please. Okay, you can unmute Mr. McMullen. All right. So what happened at the TPO hearing? think he froze. Mr. McMullen? All right. Okay, you're there. Can you hear me? Looks like you're frozen.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, what happened at the hearing?
It was the verdict.
I'm sorry. Can you move? Can you move to another location in the building? You're coming in broken. Can you move to another location?
Okay. Is that better now?
Yes, it is. Okay. What happened?
We didn't. Verdict hasn't been sent out to us just yet. They're supposed to be sent to us yesterday, but we didn't receive it. I didn't receive the verdict from the court yesterday.
Well, they usually don't give verdicts on TPO. So this in DeKalb County?
Yes, this is in DeKalb County.
Okay, give me a moment. I'll look up the case myself. Give me one moment. Sharon, what does it show? Do they have the final order?
I'm looking to see. No, there is not. There was 8/23. There was supposed to be a hearing, but then there was an amended petition filed, entry of appearance for someone. If I can see who that is.
So did you all have a hearing yesterday on the 23rd?
Yes, we did.
Okay. What was let me find out. I can find out. I'll be with you all.
It doesn't say anything. Apparently there's no order issued yet.
Okay, give me one. Okay, I'm going to need a few minutes on this case, guys. I'm going to see if I can get a status from the judge that handled the hearing. Do either of you know the name of the judge that handled the hearing?
Yes, it is Beryl Anderson.
No, Judge Anderson. No, she's just the chief judge. But
okay, that's all it says on here. Sorry.
Okay. Give me the
here, Anna Davis, maybe.
Oh, Judge Davis. Okay, and give me the case number, please. Okay, we'll put you guys back in the waiting room because I can't proceed in this case without knowing the status from the judge. So as soon as I hear from her, I'll let you guys know. We'll put you back in the waiting room. Sorry about the delay. Let me just double check here. One child, Tony, born in 2009. Last week came to court. I encouraged dad to, excuse me, I'm sorry, guys. Coughs just come out of nowhere. Let's see, 6'9", both parties present. Go back to his employer for an income deduction order, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So looks like mom's at work, so I understand that. So Mr. McKibben, I remember that you're having issues because your spouse had cancer and you were having some difficulty. So hope everything's going on and you have an order to pay child support of $378. I encourage you to try to make payments. It looks like you have been making payments, not the full amount, but it looks like in August you did make 2 payments. You paid $197 and you recently paid another payment of $195. Mom, you haven't received that yet, but you will be receiving that. So your total child support service $378. You were going to go to your employer and discuss an income deduction order. Can you tell me the status of that? Tell me what's going on with your employer, because you were going to go back and see if you could just get an income deduction order.
No, the reason why I couldn't go back because they told me we went back to the hospital and my wife, she got 2 spots on her lung now. When I went back, my employer told me I couldn't come back until I could just work fully and not, because she got to go they will send it up now for either radiation, chemo again, or a hyperbaric oxygen treatment. And the thing of it is this, they said, because of FMLA runs out and 2, I don't have no personal time off no more.
Well, that's a tough situation. So you don't have, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm sorry your wife is going through that, but if you lose your job, then you guys lose everything. So you have to try to figure out how to find agencies or somewhere that can help your wife so you can continue to be employed, because then you guys would be homeless.
Yeah, but we run close to that. And 2, Judge, I recently, I don't really like to talk about it, but I recently.
Yeah, and you don't need to, because we're on national. Anybody could be watching, and I don't want to put your, put you in any predicament. But I'd hate to see. And I hope you guys can find some services or something, because if you lose, you're trying, you're paying. You paid $200, and that's good. That's what I'm asking you to try to pay. The goal is $189 twice a month, but you're at least trying to pay $200 a month, which is. I'm not reducing your child support, but under the circumstances, it needs to get a little bit more towards that $378.
I will.
Which would be better if you try to do $150 twice a month. Then that way I can't issue a warrant. Your license won't be suspended, and you can at least try to sustain, the best you can to keep your job while your wife is going through what she's going through. Because you just have to, I understand things happen in life. But go ahead, Mr. McKibben.
I won't say this. I don't know why Judge didn't register, but ever since we talked, I've been paying the whole 3 something every month. I don't know why it ain't registering right. And 2, I already sent another one.
Oh,
yesterday, and it should be reported.
It would be split if you have another child support order. So she's checking. Do you have 2 child support orders?
No.
Wow. Yeah, because the exact same amount is coming out. What are you paying every month? You're paying the $378?
I'm paying, well, I've been paying $400 because I've been paying $200 and $200. The child support people, when they come up to $197, that means they done took $3 off of it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it shows that you paid July, August. You paid another one in August. So you're definitely on track.
Yeah, I've been on track. Okay. But I make the payments, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure, because I've been cutting grass in my neighborhood to really just keep it going and everything. But for my wife, they done just ran out because, and I want to keep talking about it, but she can't get no more assistance.
So how many, do you have children with your wife?
No.
Okay. So you have this, your son with Miss Bivens. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Miss Bivens, how old is your son? 2009, he's 14?
13.
Okay, you can unmute for me. I know you're at work. We're going to try to get through this. Give me a moment. So you should be receiving some payment, Miss Bivens, right? You can unmute.
Okay. Yes, he's 13. I'm sorry.
Okay. And we've been sending in the payments. He's sending in the payments, but we don't know why they're breaking up. So bear with us on that.
Well, when I spoke to child support the other day, because he told me he had sent in a payment, the lady was telling me something about he owes DCSS like $94 or something. I'm not sure of what it's for, because I didn't ask.
There may be some welfare money. Let's see. At 6/12, he sent in $200, and they sent her $200. On 6/12 again, there was another payment for $150. Let me see, make sure. Yeah, okay. $150, and she got $150. On 6/22, he sent in $117, and it looks like they sent her that same amount. On 7/28, $197 came in, and that's what they sent out. Same thing on 8/16. 8/23, he sent in $195, and that's what.
But that's what he's saying. He's not sending in $195. He said he's sending in over $300 each time.
No.
And I don't know why they just breaking it up like that, because I know even when you saying I didn't send in for July, I know August, July, I know I did.
Yeah, you said 2 payments in August, so you're definitely good. You just have to start in September. I don't know, but I know you're probably.
Excuse me, Judge. I think, because see, I know she should be getting one sometime in the and the other one should be coming early part of next week, but one should be hidden now, because
it hit this morning of $195, and I think $195.11 or something like that. It came into my account this morning.
Right,
see,
right.
I don't know why they're different. They keep taking that $3 in, $195.
Well, that's an administrative fee. So if you're paying
a processing fee.
If you're paying like $200, they take out a processing fee. But I'm concerned if you're saying that you're paying like $300 and she's only getting $197. So maybe you're I don't know. Just double check it for a while. If there's a problem, call them. But if you're paying $200 twice a month, well, once a month, but if you can try to get it to where you're paying, about $185 twice a month, anytime in that 1 month, then you'll be good to go and you're complying and you're making the payments through what you're going through. So at this point, I really don't have any basis because you're being consistent with your payments. So I don't have any basis to keep this case open for a criminal warrant, but I'll give one more review in October. And as long as you continue to make your payments, the case will be dismissed. Okay.
Okay.
So the meeting of the minds. Okay. Yeah. The goal is $185 twice a month. Okay.
Okay.
And if you do that, then you're consistent. Mom's getting what she needs for your son, and then for your son, and then the case will be dismissed, and you could deal with your family matters. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, I wish the best to you and your family. Sorry your wife is going through these things, and we'll reset the case to October 27th. We'll see you guys then, just for a final review. If you could put that in the notes, Dad's making payments. Okay, Miss Bivens.
All right, that's fine. I do have one question though. And I ain't trying to be ugly or anything, but my son is older now. He's 13. He has braces. So when he was working, you know, the medical and all that was coming. So it's like, you know, the braces is $200 a month. So I mean, I don't know. You know, it's just really a hardship because I'm still having to maintain what I have to do also. And then, like I said, he's 13. He plays football. His football fees is $250. So it's like he's very athletic. I have to keep him athletic because I have other kids that has, you know, went down the line and he was doing the wrong thing. So I'm trying to keep him as active as I can. And like I tell his dad all the time, it's not about the money. If you would just come and get him, if you would just call him, just come and take out time with him and do what you're supposed to do as a dad, we wouldn't even be going through this situation.
Well, hold on one second. So that's what 90% of moms say. And I try to tell that to dads. You know, Mr. McKibben, I understand you're going through a lot with your wife. And however, it requires most mothers really could say, you know what, I got to do all this anyway. I'll continue to do what I need to do. But they really want you to be a father, especially in this day and age. Young men are going through so much. If she's got them in programs, if you could go to some of the football games, take them to practice, she's working. She may have to do overtime. Just try to step up a little bit more. Just work on it. It takes one day at a time to say, okay, I know I'm going through a lot with my wife, but I also have a son that I have to be there for. And just step up and do the best you can to be a better father or be more present in your son's life. And I think that helps. And if you have a little extra money, don't give it to your son, give it to her, because if she could keep him off the streets, y'all see what's going on night and day, all these entering autos. It's a big temptation for young men right now. So if she's got him in sports and instruction programs, do what you can to give a little money to help with his cleats or his football gear or whatever that is to keep him in positive programs. So it's just an encouragement to do that. Seems like you guys may have a respectful relationship, and I appreciate that, but just step up a little bit more. That's all she's asking. Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. We'll see you guys in October, and hopefully you can reach out to your son and start showing up at some games and, you know, give him a little bit more money to help him out. Okay. Because it's very important. All right.
I will.
Okay, good. We'll see you guys. All right. October. So in this case, mom is not here, Mr. Mitchell. I figured I would be a father that would get back on track and didn't have any concerns about that. I think you just kind of fell back a little bit. You have an order of $623 per month. We were in court. The payments were kind of lower. You know, you made $300 in May, $350. Let me see when we were. Okay, but when was our last court date? Can you tell me? I didn't pull that case up yet. Okay, so let's see what happened in May. It said Mr. Mitchell must show full payments for 2 consecutive months for final review. Let's see. That refiled. Dad said his previous contract. Other case. You have 2 other child support cases. Wow. All right. So in this case, you did pay some payments, $300, kind of half of what you were supposed to pay for May, June, and July, and then you stepped up and paid the full payment for August. So what's it going to look like going forward for you? Because I was looking for 2 full payments. What's going on, Mr. Mitchell?
Well, that was the period I told you I had been out of work because I had been dealing with my allergies. So I wasn't getting my full hours. So those are those partial payments. I've just got my first full check in. So that's why you saw the full payment. So that's what it'll be going forward. It'll just be the full payment. I'm just kind of getting back into getting a full paycheck again. Okay.
Sounds good. Well, mom must be satisfied now. Are you guys communicating at all with regard to your child?
No, I get no reply. I got a message the other day, but it was not a productive message. Okay. But I did have a. You have the right to file a petition to legitimate your child, and the court will give you visitation. You don't have to have an attorney to do that. You do have to pay the filing fees. And if you want to be in your child's life, regardless of the relationship between you and mom, you have the right to file a petition to legitimate, and the judge will give you a right to visitation to your child, whether or not you or mom are consenting to it or not. But you have to take the step to do that. Okay. Right. All right.
All right. So if you fall back again, you have to have substantial compliance. So, you know, make sure you pay as much as you can toward the $623 every month. If you fail to do so, then she can refile again and starts this whole process over. But I'm a little bit less patient if we have to come back a second time.
Okay. All right. I did have a question. My license is currently suspended, and there's some opportunities with my company that I would like to try to take advantage of. I work in insurance. So I was wondering if I could get my license released.
Let's see what's going on. Sure. Hold on one second. Let's look.
It was suspended 10/8/18.
It was suspended in October 2018.
That's what it says.
What can he do to reinstate it?
Go down and talk to someone, and if he's got a job that they can start taking the money out of the job, they will give him back that. Or if it's not the kind of job that they can have an automatic deduction, he'd have to come up with some money.
Well, they've changed their process now to where that I have to submit. I used to have to submit my paperwork to HR for them to do the deduction, but now they've changed it to where I have to put it in some automated system that they have. So I was going to do that today.
Go down to the child support office and let them know about the job. And once they confirm the job, they'll release your license.
Yes. I mean, they can do it instantly, but you have to go there in person to try. What county are you in?
In DeKalb.
Okay, go to Miller Road, head over there if you have a lunch break or whatever. Get this done today. You can get your license reinstated and you can move forward and do what needs to be done, but you have to go in person to get it done, okay?
And all they need is an email or what have you showing that they're going to make the deduction from the paycheck.
Sure, they just need confirmation that you have the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're making payments, so that should help encourage them to reinstate it.
Yeah, like this is a new thing for me. I guess it's a new thing for them. So I'm sure they'll give me some kind of proof. I just don't know what that proof will be. I don't know if it'll be an email or whatever. I don't know, because this is a new thing that they're doing.
Okay, well, you'll be able to work that out with DHS. I mean, you're making your payments, you're complying, so you should be fine. Just go ahead over there and try to get it reinstated, okay?
Okay.
Just don't drive.
No, I wasn't gonna drive. I believe they asked me for like $1,000 some time ago. I honestly can't afford that. So I didn't know if that was going to be part of this reinstatement process, or if all I need to do is just show them the deduction order, or excuse me,
that's one of the options. They give you an option of payment, or if you have a job where they can start automatically taking it out.
Okay. All right.
So let me confirm. Do you have 3 child support orders?
No. My oldest daughter is no longer getting child support.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So the case is dismissed. Okay. Keep making your payments. I don't want to see you again. Thank you for stepping up. Okay.
He was the one with 3 master's degrees.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember him.
I remember him because he was quite arrogant. And
I don't know if he was the father without the shirt.
I don't think so. I think he was well dressed.
Oh, okay. This case, Dad has 2 open child support orders. I think I put 370 and 550 or something of that nature. All right, Mr. Thomas, can you come on for me, please? And this one, we're looking for the status of the income deduction order. Looks like he's still voluntarily paying.
Yes.
I had to text him. He said that his phone was acting up, so I texted him, let him know that we have a hold now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hold on 1 second. Can't hear. Hold on.
Okay. All right, Mr. Thomas. It looks like when we discussed before, you have 2 orders open for child support. We were trying to get an income deduction order to take the money directly out of your paycheck, so you wouldn't have to worry about coming to court. But we haven't received the income deduction order. So what's the stat? And you have been making payments. You just haven't been making the full amount that's due for me to completely dismiss the case. Can you hear me? You're kind of frozen. Mr. Freeman, while we're waiting, try to call Ms. Smith or have somebody in this office call Ms. Smith, see if we can reach her in position 8 before we go forward.
She's on, Judge.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, good. All right. So, Mr. Thomas, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So we're trying to get an income deduction order to your employer. It looks like you're making payments, so I appreciate that. It's just not the full amount. Mm-hmm. So all we need to do is get closer to you paying closer to the full amount of child support, and I'll be able to dismiss the case, because you have been making monthly payments. So thank you for that, but they're just not the full amount. Okay.
Okay.
So what's going on at work?
Hot, really hot.
Well, I know it's hot, but I mean, have you tried to see if you could get an income? I mean about child support, not the heat, but I know. So have you been able to pay? It looks like we're getting about half of the amount you're paying voluntarily. I appreciate that. But, you're supposed to be paying the full amount. I know you have 2 child support orders, so you're doing the best you can on your income. But I thought we were trying to get an income deduction order started on your case. Have you submitted that or checked in with your employer?
There was one mailed around 6:30.
Oh, you mailed it? Okay. Do you have the address, right?
I'm going to take a look at that right now and make sure.
So our goal in this case, Mr. Thomas, are you, I know that probably with 2 child support orders, Ms. Thomas, what's going to happen is they're going to take out an amount it may not be the full amount, but the law says if the federal government is taking out what they can for the 2 orders, I can't issue a warrant. I wouldn't issue a warrant anyway because he's still at least paying half, but I know you need the full amount. So Mr. Thomas, are you not able to like pay 2 payments a month to try to balance it out a little bit better? I mean, I see you're out there working in the heat, but.
Right now I've been kind of down with my truck situation again, but she's been helping me out. We're actually trying to help each other out and try to get our family back straight. So hopefully in the future, y'all won't hear from us anymore. We're going to try to make it work. We've been trying to work some things out so I can pay more, try to work out a different situation with each other.
Okay, well, when you're making in July, you paid $350. So if you could get more, even if you can't pay the full amount right now, $350 is an expected amount. And as long as you pay that, then there's no basis for me to issue a warrant. At this point, we're just trying to get the income deduction order in place. Do you get paid directly from your employer and they take out taxes?
Well, they're not taking out taxes. I believe they're going to make it like I'm a contract employee until.
Oh, that's okay. So we can't get an income deduction order then. We won't be able to get an income deduction order. So you're going to have to try to divide that payment in 2 and do your best to try to make 2 payments a month, which is what I told you before. And so that's like $550 divided by 2. So that's trying to pay as close as you can to $275 twice a month. I know maybe back in that day, back when you got the order, you may have been making a lot more money. I'm not sure if your income has changed or not, but your goal is to try to pay something close to $275 every 2 weeks or twice a month.
Okay.
I mean, that's all I can do is say, just keep trying to make your payment. You've made the last 3 payments, not the full amount, but I can't issue a warrant even based on that. I can reset the case, final review in October just to see how things are going. But other than that, I literally I can't issue a warrant based on the partial payments, Ms. Thompson. So it's not a criminal matter anymore. It's more of a civil matter if he doesn't pay the full amount, but I can't issue a warrant for his arrest.
Okay.
Okay, so do you want one final review in October to see how things are going?
I guess we can.
Okay, all right. So Mr. Thomas will do one final review October 27th. If everything looks okay, it looks like you're consistent on your payments. They're just not sufficient amounts. And I just want to see that you continue to pay the best you can every month, twice a month if possible. And then that'll be it. The case of the child missed in October, okay? Mr. Freeman, I don't see the child support order was scanned in, or the application, I'm sorry. So in this case, we have Mr. Martin, who's the custodial parent for the minor child. Mom is on an order of child support to pay $100 per month, it looks like. And mom was last paid $350 back in May. Mom, you have a pass-through amount of $650. If you could adjust your camera, both of you, if you could back up, because I've just seen, there you go. Thank you so much. So both of you could first raise your right hands. Ms. Smith, if you could raise your right hand as well. Do you swear any testimony you're about to present to the court shall be the truth, if so say I do?
Okay. Yes.
All right. So Mr. Martin, you have custody of your son and you have an order of child support of $100 per month. Is that correct?
Actually, I have they actually raised it to $150 a month.
Okay, $150 per month. Okay. And so Ms. Smith, you're under an order to pay child support. This is a child support abandonment warrant. It's actually a criminal case. My job as a judge is to determine if you have the ability to pay and you're just not paying. If so, I'd have to issue a criminal warrant for your arrest. As I share with all the other parties, it's usually reversed, of course, but my goal is not to issue arrest warrants or to cause parents to have any more discord toward each other, but to try to get the parent, who's the non-custodial parent, on track to start paying the child support. So $150, I encourage sometimes weekly payments or two times a month to help the money be paid without any financial, trying to pay the whole amount, which sometimes creates financial burden. So I'll speak with you first, ma'am. Ms. Smith, what's going on with you? Why aren't you able to pay the $150? Why haven't you paid the $150 per month since May?
Right. I've been put in a program through child support, and I'm not working. I'm currently waiting on my disability.
You've been put in a program through child support?
Correct. I report to court every month. It's a program through child support where I have to report every week, but we meet up for a court meeting with the judge every month.
Oh, that sounds like an accountability court.
Yeah, that's what it is. And they're helping me to look for a job.
What jurisdiction is that? What county?
DeKalb.
Oh, you're in the DeKalb. Okay, can we see? So, Mr. Martin, what's happening is that if mom had some underlying either, I don't know what the issues are, substance, mental health, or whatever issues may have been, she's now in a program under a higher court for them to process and get her back, on track with proper treatment, care, housing, things of that nature. And if that accountability court is excusing her for a moment of payments, then I can't issue a warrant. So let me look into that. Are you finding information, Ms. Carson?
Yes, she's in PAC before Judge Adams.
Oh, okay. Mr. Martin, have you been involved in the PAC program with Judge Adams?
No.
Okay. So I think it's important that you be aware that she's currently under a Superior Court judge, and the judge is trying to get her through some processing to see what's going on. Do you have any notes on the case? Are you able to pull up the case, Ms. Carson? Just to see, I don't want to share any private information, but
it's just saying, let's see, 8/8/23, scheduled to appear before PAC. Judge Adams advised participant to maintain contact, continue progressive efforts, make increased payments. Here's another note on 7/26. Participant is performing job search activities, has paid 0 of child support. Notes like that, just commenting that she's participating in job searches but not paying. Another note on 8/23, the same thing.
So, Ms. Smith, I guess the court is trying to encourage you to get employment. And do you have a residence now?
Yes, I've had a residence for a year now.
Okay, so how are you supporting yourself financially?
You said, how am I doing what now?
How are you supporting yourself financially?
My mom helped me out.
Okay, so you haven't been able to find a job in over a year?
I can't hear you.
You have not been able to find a job in the past year?
No, I just actually lost my job. I've had a place for a year. But I was working for Apple, but being that my disability, I had to stop working for a minute, and that's what I'm waiting on. So I haven't been working for probably about 5-6 months.
Okay, because you have some type of disability?
Right.
Okay, so Mr. Martin, what I'm going to have to ask you to do is to, I'm going to, because a judge that's higher than me is overseeing her case. I don't know what her disability is. And that judge has decided to help get her into programs and to facilitate her getting on her feet so she can provide the child support. So they know she's not paying. So I can't issue a criminal warrant if a higher judge is trying to get her in a proper program. So I don't know the backstory on this, but I think that I think that you need to get in, I don't know how to get them involved in the PAC court. Is there a coordinator? I'm not familiar with the accountability program.
There is, but they don't usually involve
the dad.
The father, right.
The custodial parents, yeah.
So how are you supposed to get employment and start providing child support? What are you doing to look for jobs?
I'm searching for a job, but it's not much I can do with the hours that they're requiring that I work while waiting for my disability.
Oh, okay. And if you get disability, do you know if it's a type that your child would get a portion of it too, or you're not sure about that?
Yes, that's what I know. But Mr. Martin does not communicate with me about her son. Only thing he's doing is trying to, I guess, get the child support from me. Other than that, I don't see him still or none of that. He just wants my money.
Okay. Well, he doesn't just want your money. He's taking care of your son. And so if you guys need
he's choosing to do it by himself. I've texted him, I've called him, asked him to see her son, and that doesn't work out for him.
Okay, so you guys have some distance on getting, I don't know what to do in this case. Mr. Martin, I can't just issue a criminal warrant if she's under another court. I hope you understand that. But ma'am, you do have to continue to look for employment. I'm going to reset the case. And what right now, what you need to do is try to pay, like, if you get a little job, you just have to pay like $50, $35 a week. That's all you have to pay to provide for your son. And then as he starts receiving the payments, then sometimes parents start to heal, and then parents can get better, and then they can start to co-parent and raise their child together. So unfortunately, Mr. Martin, this is not a case that's appropriate for me to issue a warrant because she's in another court, but I'll go ahead and put it back on. I'm still Ms. Smith. I have to require you at some point to get some employment. I don't know. I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Ms. Carson just for a moment. I don't want you to air because we are on Zoom what your disability is, but Ms. Carson, can I put you in a breakout room with her, and then you could share with me in a chat what the disability is that may be stopping her from being able to gain employment. So Ms. Smith, if you could accept the breakout room, Mr. Freeman, go ahead and put them in. And Mr. Martin, we'll be right with you and speak to you as well. Give me one moment. Okay, so based on the information provided by Ms. Smith, it looks as though Mr. Martin, she qualifies for disability. I'm not sure. I guess you guys don't speak at all to be able to discuss what's going on. Ms. Smith, you guys don't have any conversations or anything. So it would be one of those things if you guys could try to figure out. How old is your child, Ms. Smith?
5.
5. And Mr. Martin?
Actually, he's 6 years old.
Okay. So it looks like Ms. Smith had, a pretty serious condition that's impacting her. And have you guys just not had any discussions to try to understand and help each other what you're going through? I mean, this isn't that type of court, but it would be helpful if you guys could just talk and then understand what's going on.
He doesn't want to talk.
I've never blocked her. Your Honor, she's been ordered by the courts to visit him once a week, and she's failed to do that.
Okay.
I can't,
Right. I understand. And you're doing the best you can. So, Mr. Martin, you're working and you have a home and you're providing fully for your son right now?
Correct.
Okay. So this one's a bit of a challenge because the medical condition.
But then, I'm sorry, but Your Honor, she's been on child support since 2017. 2018. I'm sorry. She just said she's been working and she hasn't been working for the past 6 months. So what happened to the time before that?
Yeah, there was a payment in May I saw that you received, but hold on, Ms. Smith, don't unmute yourself until I get back to you. Okay, don't do that, please. That's interfering with the court. So, Mr. Martin, I understand, but I'm going to treat this case like I treat any other case. My goal isn't primarily to issue warrants, arrest people. That gets nobody anywhere. My goal is to try to find a way to where, in this case, the non-custodial parent can step up. She's before a higher court and she's got a medical issue that the court is taking into consideration. I'm not saying they say she can't work, but if she gets approved for disability, it may take a while, but your child will get a percentage of her disability for the rest of his life. Okay. So I'm going to encourage Ms. Smith because the court's even saying that she needs to get a job. So Ms. Smith, I'm still going to encourage you to try to find a job because, but I don't know. I hope you understand, Mr. Martin. I'm not, if she wasn't being overseen by a higher court because she has do you even know about the medical issue? I can't tell you, but do you know what's going on? You have no idea?
No, I don't.
See, that's the whole thing. If he could at least know, then maybe he would have some compassion and you guys could work better as parents. But, he's sitting there not knowing what you're going through, Mr. Smith, and it's a lot. I mean, it's awful what you're going through. And how can somebody know the seriousness of your offense if you guys don't talk and you have to figure out a way? At one time, you guys had a relationship, you have a son. I'm sure he's a handsome young man, smart, and misses mommy and and is with daddy. It takes two people to just say, you know what, let's make this day a little bit closer to being better for our son. And all it takes is say, let's go meet at the park at, whatever, McDonald's or somewhere. Let's let him try to re-engage and get to know us again. But you both have to want to do it. You both can't hang on to being angry and mean and not thinking about the child. The child loves both of their parents, even though you guys may have some kind of disdain. I'm just encouraging you guys to figure out take a little, this video I had is so good. I wish I could show it. It's just a girl saying, if you could just go a little bit closer to being kind to each other. And it only takes you guys saying, you know what, sure, let's meet. Let's go ahead and try to meet because she's going through a very serious medical issue. And it's a shame that you don't know. I can't tell you, Ms. Smith, why don't you share with him what you've gone through? And then he'll be more compassionate and then you guys can work together because your baby needs you. I cannot even imagine. He's 5 years old and he doesn't have his mommy in his life. Kids go to school every day and their mothers are there 90% of the time. And he's there without his mommy in any of his programs. So, that's not healthy, guys. So as a judge, I'm just going to encourage you. I can't make anybody do anything. I can just tell you the consequence at the end for the child is not good. Even though dad's the best dad in the world, you can't do it alone, Mr. Martin. You have to find forgiveness in your heart toward her. Ms. Smith, you have to find forgiveness towards Mr. Martin if you guys, for whatever happened between the two of you, and take one step to try to spend a little bit of quality time together every weekend. And watch a mother was just telling me how her child was disabled, but then when the child gets to see the father, she lights up even though she can't express herself verbally. That's what happens within a child. They light up and they need both parents. So it's up to you guys to try to reconnect, try to make peace. Y'all cared for each other at one point. But now, Ms. Smith, you may need to say, this is what I've been going through. And I'm sorry I haven't, stepped up like I should maybe. And Mr. Martin say, I'm sorry I withheld it from you. But yeah, let's push through this together as parents for that baby boy. So Again, it's totally up to you guys. If you choose not to, and nothing I can do about it, nothing. But I just want to encourage you both to understand that you do have the option, and it starts with today, to try to make peace. And then maybe she can help you understand and know that she's trying to get disability, so your son gets a lifetime disability pay, from his mom when it's going to take a while to get the disability, but she's got some pretty serious things going on. Okay. So I don't have a basis to issue a criminal warrant. So it's overseen by a higher court. Mr. Martin, I know you deserve the payment. I'm sorry you're not getting it, but Judge Adams has a program. He's an excellent judge. He used to be, a juvenile court judge. He cares for families. He cares for children. And he's a great person for her to be under, and he's going to do everything in his power, I believe, to make her accountable as a parent. And I hope that you guys choose to just get a little bit closer, step by step, every week. Just try. Okay. Do you guys have each other's contact information?
No, I don't.
Do you guys want? I could put you in a private room.
But my contact never changed. That's what I mean.
Well, do you want? I can't force either one of you. And if you don't feel you're comfortable with it, you don't have to. Mr. Martin, would you like to go into a private breakout room with Ms. Smith and you guys just choose to exchange information, or would you feel uncomfortable at this time? If you don't feel comfortable, then I won't do it.
But that's what my information never changed. Why doesn't she had it? Like what happened? It never changed.
Well, her medical issue can compromise things, so I have to share that with you. And Miss Smith, do you still have his information?
Yes, he don't respond.
Okay, so send him a text right now. Send him a text right now. Mr. Martin, let me see if you get the text. Just say, hi, we're in court.
Is it the 470 number?
I've never had a 470 number.
Yeah, well, I don't have the updated number for him.
I've never had, my number has never changed. I have this number for
okay, Mr. Martin.
Changed. Your number was 4428.
No. You guys aren't speaking to each other. Ms. Smith, stop. You guys do not engage each other unless I give you the authority to do so, the permission. Don't want you guys exchanging. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to unmute. Hold on a second. Ms. Carson usually does not. I'll have my clerk actually be in a breakout room with the two of you. If you're okay with exchanging information, I'm going to put you in a breakout room so we don't do this live, because we're live on YouTube. And I can have him give you his updated information, Ms. Smith, and then you can give him your updated information, regardless of whether it's changed or not. And then you guys could choose to communicate only appropriate, kind. How are you? I'm fine. How's my son? He's good. Can we meet this day? Not be ugly, nasty, or mean toward each other, because that gets nowhere. All right. So I'm going to put you guys in a breakout room with my clerk just for a moment, and we're going to see if you guys are amenable or agreeable to exchange information.
Ernie, did you want me in that too? Because the invitation came for me to join that breakout room.
Sure. Go ahead. Yeah, just go ahead.
Get back to your case.
Y'all have the same information. We lost Ms. Greer. The judge has not issued the order yet, Mr. McMullen, so I'm going to have to reset the case. I'm not going to be able to do anything on it. If it gives you temporary custody, then I can't issue child support, but I have to have a judicial ruling, and the judge has not been able to respond to me on that case. So sorry about the inconvenience, but I'm going to have to reset it just so we can see what's going on. And we'll let's see, make sure she's not in the waiting room. Yeah, she's not with us. She actually dropped. So
she had to go to another mandatory meeting. She sent me an email.
Okay, so we're gonna have to reset this because I haven't heard from Judge Davis yet. So we can put it on. Let's see, when is Memorial? Not Memorial. What's the holiday in September?
Labor Day.
Yeah, when is Labor Day holiday?
The 9th. It's no, wait a minute.
The 4th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we'll have court on the 8th. Let's put this one back. I don't want them to come right back, so let's put it back on September 22nd, and then we'll see we'll have a status. Mr. McMullen, we'll know then. If the judge gives her custody back, then you're going to have to start paying the child support, but we'll see what happens when we come back, okay? So you're excused from court. Okay. We'll see you on the 22nd. I'll have an updated order by then, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
She does now have his phone number, and she texted him, so they've made contact.
Okay, awesome. And so, Ms. Smith, there is a court order saying that you're permitted to visit your son. I'm not sure what the order says, how to visit him, but you guys need to if you're willing to start taking steps towards, bridging that gap of the distance, just little baby steps to get closer. Hopefully you guys can work that out. But unfortunately, Mr. Martin, since another court is overseeing her, it's up to her to share what's going on with her, that she's applying for disability. So I can't issue a warrant for someone that is in a court, and the court knows that she has a disability, is pending disability. So it's a process, but hopefully you guys can work through that and understand it. So I cannot issue a warrant in this case. I can't keep it in the criminal court. I'm going to turn it over to Judge Adams. It's a parent accountability court that she's currently in, and they're watching. She has to report every week, get the status, and I'm sure it'll help. Judge Adams would be happy to know that she's at least visiting her child, which will be an incentive to keep trying to find some type of employment. So I would say I'd like to keep up on the case and just check in every once in a while, but it's not a criminal case, so I can't pursue it right now. But if Mr. Martin, if she's excused from accountability court, then you can refile the criminal abandonment warrant, okay?
All right.
All right. Okay. Wish you guys best luck. Okay. You guys are both excused. Take care. I hope you guys work things out with your child. Okay.
Thank you. And you do the same.
Okay. Have a good weekend.
You too.